They're muted. So I'm gonna have to unmute. You got to mute if you did.
You doing sound from there or there?
Or, but it looks like it's already muted. That is. Okay.
Check.
All right, we're doing a microphone check. If those of you online can hear me, you can't chat, but they can talk. Can they?
I think he's disabled. I mean, he's able.
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay, so if they can just let you know in the chat if they can hear well now or not. I'm gonna move this. Well, I can't really move it too far. So we'll just leave that there. They'll just
Yeah, they can hear.
Okay, perfect.
good.
All right, sorry about the difficulties, everyone. So we were just at the point where we were introducing ourselves. So if anybody in the chat wants to put their industry that they're from, you can do so now. And then for our newcomers, hello, everyone. I'm Shaquille, teaching the class today. If you would love to introduce yourself and what type of business you own, we would greatly appreciate it. No, yes,
Oh,
business owner.
oh, hello, my name is Danielle Thompson. I am the owner of Destined by DPT. I'm the bling queen, so anything that you need from shoes to apparel, that's me.
Thank you for being here.
My name is Mahadi Wade. I have my own agency, Life Insurance.
Nice, thanks for being here. All right, and for the new people that came, I'll just briefly go back through a little bit about who I am. I'm Shaquille Riston, the MBAC Financial Advisor. My role here is to advise on all things finance, whether it's financial coaching, financial statements, access to capital, other resource partners in the area. Maybe we can't help, but we know someone that does. So that's, I've been here for a little over a month. They're really loving the services that we have to offer as it relates to the financial aspect. Hello. And so, yeah, this is just a little bit about my background. I went to Bowling Green State University for undergrad, MBA at NKU, QuickBooks Certified Advisor. And Finance for Fun is my new baby. It's a nonprofit, and we teach financial literacy to students in CPS schools. So that's a little bit about myself. Welcome. We're doing introductions. If you would love to introduce yourself and what type of business you own, it's your time. Yes, go ahead. No worries.
My name is Michelle Stallings. I am a 30-year union construction worker, carpenter, and I have started my own construction.
Nice. Thank you for being here. All right, so we got a lot to cover today. This is the agenda. We'll talk about starting a business plan preparation, accounting and finance. I just asked that so we can get through everything. As you have questions, you can write it down on your paper, and then we'll have a moment for questions at the end. All right, so first part of starting a business, take a moment to think about why you started your business. Hopefully it's linked to some kind of passion, purpose, or solving a problem that the world desperately needs. This is gonna keep you going. Starting a business is hard work. It's a lot. You know, most time who's wearing all the hats? Who's doing everything? All of us, right? So you're gonna need some momentum at times. You're gonna feel like quitting, you're gonna feel like stopping. But this is, when you get back to that why I started this is your motivation to keep going when things are getting rough, because it is a lot. And hopefully today, the steps that I'll talk about are not things that you normally hear when people are talking about starting a business or breaking it down to someone. So hopefully today can give you a little more clarity and give you a little more ease with, okay, what are my next steps? No matter where you may be in your business, or you might be thinking you got it all already. And after today, you might come back and say, oh, dang, I need to go back to start step one or something like that. So keep your why, whether that's your family, whether it's generational wealth, whether it's just something you really love to do, and again, or whether it's just a problem you're solving, always revert back to your why to keep you going. So I like to break out the phases of starting a business in 4 different parts. And we're gonna go into each of these different segments in a second, but the first one is planning your business. Then you should go into business development, then product development, then branding and marketing. And so we'll start with what is planning your business. So the first thing you're gonna do, grab a binder. Grab a binder. Why do I say this? Because it's gonna be a lot of important documents that you're gonna need to have, keep up with, and you might as well just start keeping them in one place to get started. When I talk about what might go in there, at the next step, we'll talk about registering your business, EIN numbers. Normally, those are important documents. Once we register the business, you get your Secretary of State paper, throw that in the binder. You get your EIN from the IRS, your letter, throw that in the binder. Because most times when it's time to apply for capital, or it's time to sit with somebody to go over what you need for your business, you're gonna need all that stuff anyway. So step 1, grab a binder. Step 2, create a mission and vision statement. So then you're gonna choose a business name, research, estimate startup costs, research your target market, research your competition, and then decide what the good or service you're probably providing. You may already know what good or service you're gonna provide before you do all this. The reason why, if you look at it, nothing in this set costs you money. Nothing here costs money, but a binder. All right, $5 or less. Go to Dollar Tree, get it for $1.25. This is important. This is the most step that we miss, because we got an idea and we think everybody don't want it. That's not true. Me and my sister years ago, before I started my accounting business, we had a jewelry business. We had cute stuff where we thought trendy, cute, fashionable. We would set up, we would do events. Some people would buy, some people wouldn't. After so long, we like, okay, let's just scratch this. But we had got an interest from a brand ambassador like Colorado. She said, everything y'all have on your website is trending right now in Colorado. We never thought about that because we didn't research our target market. We just thought everything we had was cute, and trendy and everybody wanted. Same, if you're providing a service, who is my target market? Who do I want to target? Where do I need to be? If I need to be somewhere else besides Cincinnati, Ohio, or I need to reach a market besides Cincinnati, Ohio, that's what I need to do. Nothing in this step, again, costs you money, but this is detrimental to your business idea. Is it gonna even work here? And just because it don't work here, don't mean nothing. We're in a state of technology. We can be here and our business can be for a whole market in Texas if we selling cowboy boots. Cowboy boots is not that popular here. I would not advertise wholly in Cincinnati. I probably would still advertise here because I'm here, but my advertisement would be for where? I would target Texas as a state because that's their thing. So definite research or competition. Who's already doing this? Is this something new? Am I inventing this idea or is somebody else already doing it? And I know it's competition out there. We have a big thing with always wanting to reinvent the wheel. Find somebody else's blueprint that may be, look and see who's doing it and maybe they're doing it well already. What can you do to make sure your business is just as successful? It's not always cheating or copying because you're gonna be unique in your own way, but someone's done it. That's why we have mentors. That's why we look up to people because we see what they're already doing and we want to accomplish those things. Next step, business development. Now, you've already did your research. You know it's a good idea. You've already decided what it's gonna cost you to start, get going. Now you're gonna start spending money. This is where the money starts getting spent. You're gonna choose your legal structure. So are you gonna be a single member LLC, sole proprietor, partnership, S Corp, C Corp, or a C Corp? Obviously, depending on what kind of business you're starting, most of us start as single member LLCs or sole proprietors. But some people start differently. Maybe you have already a big investment and maybe, you already got some things. Maybe it's gonna make sense for you to start, you work with a financial advisor or an accountant. It may make sense for you to start as an S Corp because you're gonna have that profit already. For whatever reason, but for choosing your legal structure, do your research. Do your research. We're all business owners. Who are first generation business owners in here? Meaning nobody else has started a business in your family. It's just you really doing this thing. You don't have an auntie, grandma, nobody calls say, hey, how did you do that thing? That's a lot. Almost everybody here raised their hand. So we have to be comfortable with not knowing. And we have to do our own research at times. Nobody's gonna tell us everything we need to know. You're here, that's the first step. You're in the right room. You have resources. These are resources. This is free. Nobody paid to be here today. This is your time. And again, going back to this part, I tell business owners all the time, you're gonna either spend, it's gonna be two things you're gonna give up, time or money. In the beginning, a lot of us, we doing it all. We don't really always have all the money so we gotta spend time. Maybe time is researching. Maybe time is doing the bookkeeping on your own in the beginning. Maybe time is wearing all the hats. But you're gonna spend both things, one or two, time or money. In this phase, it's all about your time. Take the time to make sure this is gonna work, because you're gonna put a lot of work into this business. And so many of us have started businesses and they don't keep going because we didn't do the research. We didn't take the time to really see, can I make this thing work? Everything else there, you're gonna set up a business email. I say set up a business email after you choose your structure because everything else under there, you're gonna give your email for. So when you apply to the IRS to get the EIN, when you do your Secretary of State registration, they're gonna ask for email. If you already got your business email set up, then you use that, obviously, instead of maybe we didn't set the business email up first, but I set up my company, so I'll put my personal email in there. Not saying it's bad, it's horrible, it happens, but if you start with just setting up your business email and you get everything, use that, now you got everything in that one business email. So if it is time to find documents and find these papers, you know about what time it's in the business email, you can go find it. You apply for your EIN, register your business name. If you need, trucking, if you need any necessary permits, licenses, this is where you do that. Open a business checking account, figure out what kind of point of sale system. So point of sale system, Square, Stripe, PayPal. What we gonna use? How we gonna collect the money? How we gonna invoice our customers? And then the next step is set up accounting functions. This does not mean go hire an accountant at this point, a bookkeeper, whatever, but this more so is thinking through the question of how am I going to keep track of the numbers? How am I do that? What am I, like, so right now, if I mean pen and paper, okay, that's my deal, pen and paper right now. If I need an Excel spreadsheet, okay, that's where I'm gonna start. If I have the funds to start with an accounting software system like QuickBooks, that's what I'm gonna start with. So the question of setting up accounting functions is pretty much just how am I gonna track the numbers? You need to think about that in the business development stage because accounting mistakes are costly, cost a lot. Cleanups cost a lot. When you take somebody that big bag of receipts, that costs a lot. When you don't have nothing in order, that costs somebody time. I just say you're gonna spend time or money. So since you didn't spend the time to keep it organized, guess what you're gonna spend? You're gonna pay somebody the money to do it for you. And it's not cheap, I'm telling you. So finding a way, whether it's manual Excel file that's free, finding a way to thinking through in this business development stage, as we move on, how am I gonna keep track of the numbers? You need to ask yourself that question before you even get in business. How am I gonna do it? Doesn't say, I'm not telling you how to do it right now, but that's the question. Once you have all this done, now you're moving into product development or service development, whatever your product or service is. Find a designated working space. So are you working from home? And if you are working from home, it needs to be designated, it needs to be clean and clear cut. This is my home office. Why? Because you can write off home office expenses. So if I have an office in my house, and my office is whatever square foot out of my whole house, I divide that, I get a percentage. That percentage I apply to all my home bills. I can apply that to my Duke Energy bill. I can apply that to my rent, a portion, because it's a percentage of your home office. Those are legitimate deductions, write-offs, but you have to have your paperwork. You have to show that this is my designated home office or working space. Other option is to go rent an office space if you're able to do so. In that way, whatever those expenses are, rent, whatever you pay them for the lease every month, whatever else, then obviously those are business expenses. Order necessary supplies and materials, whatever you may need for the business. Create detailed product or service description. So what are you providing? For me, we do accounting, bookkeeping, but we work with a range of businesses. So we have 3 kind of standard packages that we allow them to choose from, or we see what works best. So that might not be your case. Maybe you just got one thing, one set price for what you charge, and that's how you do it. But this is the point where you're gonna be deciding what that is. Create and decide on packaging, and then determine pricing, break-even point, and profit margin. That's the most important on this slide. Pricing. How am I gonna price my product or my service? There's so much to include, especially if you're service-based. You have to include the time. So a lot of us in service, it gets hard because we don't think about the time it took us to get to where we are. I might run a report that might take me 5 minutes to run or a couple minutes, but that doesn't mean I charge my client because it only took me 5 minutes to do it. It took me 5 minutes to do it because I've been doing this for how many years? And then what education has you invested in yourself to get you to this point of professionalism? That's important. So service, so if you're a service-based, what does it look, what time, the time you're taking, what is your hourly rate to do this thing that you're doing? What makes sense? If you're selling a product, what all goes into that one product? What do you have to do? If I'm selling smoothies, what all do I have to put into that smoothie? The fruit, the juice, whatever, the blender I'm using, that's a part of it. All the moving pieces needs to be put into your pricing strategy. We're not pricing based on what we feel they're gonna pay. We're out of that. I don't think find who will. Find who will, because somebody will. I swear, I was in this, a lot of my very beginning clients when I took my business on, I call them like grandfathered in, because literally they're paying a price that they wouldn't pay today, essentially. But in the very beginning, I just wanted business. Work with me. I work with you. But now I'm very selective. I don't wanna work with, I don't wanna work with everyone. But in the very beginning, we can get caught up in, you just want business, so you gonna lowball yourself, you gonna charge what you think they gonna pay. No, it's people that will pay what you want them to pay. So but you have to have confidence in your pricing. Normally, we don't have confidence in our pricing. We don't know why we really charging what we charging. But if I know I'm charging this price because I done took my time and this is what I'm putting into it, I'm confident in that. And I'm standing firm on it. I'm not gonna wiggle with my, nah, I can't. Or, okay, if you need a lower price, I can't do all that. I would do at that price, but I can't give you this at the price to meet you there. So it's all about knowing your price, what's your pricing strategy? How are you coming up with it? Are you charging this just because they charging that? Are you charging this because you just want to be a little lower than the competition and you want people to work with you? Or do you really have sound reasoning and numbers to support, this is my price and this is why? That's important. We lowball ourselves a lot, thinking people won't pay our price. And if you are in the room and you're doing that, stop. Charge what you want to charge, what makes sense, and what's also reasonable, ethical, right? But charge it. If your customers are not paying what that price, them are not your customers. And we gotta show up. If I'm gonna charge you high quality prices, I have to be quality. Because we all want to get what we pay for, right? At the end of the day, we are producers, but we're consumers too. So we don't go pay for stuff that we don't feel like is valuable. So at the same time, where we're charging what we feel we're worth and our quality, show up that way. Show up as it. Have to. Or else people like, oh, this ain't that. I ain't paying for that. Finally, final step. Now we jumping into branding and marketing. So we did all of this, and this is usually where people start, right here. Let me get my logo. Let me get my website. Let me put my product on there. You don't even know if people is gonna want that. You don't even know if they gonna buy the stuff, girl. But you got your website, you got your logo. That's not to the end. Step 4, because all of this stuff, after we've done planning it, everything from planning it costs money. Business development, everything on there, except for EIN, Secretary of State, you pay for it, and everything else. Maybe not opening a business account, but you gotta open it with something, so that's gonna cost. Everything else, you're spending money here. You're spending money here. You're definitely spending money here. So if we're not taking the first step to research and take our time to see if we can make this thing work, we're what? Wasting money. Wasting all the money. Here, branding, marketing, logo, creating your brand, who you are, what we want to be seen as, what's our motto. For my motto from Riston Financial Service Group is start small, finish big. That's our motto. That's what we teach. That's what we encourage. Just because we're starting small as business owners, every corporation, large corporation started small. They started small. So we can do the same. Start small and finish big. Website creation, social media, networking groups, being in this kind of room. Everybody in here shared their business and who they are. Network. You never know when you might need a bling tee. You never know when you might need a load dropped off. You never know when you might need a limousine to pick you up for date night. You never know.
Well, I got business cards out. I got a clean.
Cleaning company, you never know when you might need clean and done, all that stuff. So network with each other. They do the exchange here. On Thursday nights, you have a packet. Everybody has a packet of events that we're doing here at the African American Chamber. These are all networking events. Business owners come to these. Come, keep coming, network, come with cards, come ready to pitch your business, who we are, what we do. Be ready, always be ready, because there are a lot of opportunities that come when you're ready. Create and build an email list. So when you are trading business cards, create an Excel file. That's something I used to do. I have so many business cards, but I create an Excel file. I have a generic email list. from people that I just connected with. They give me their card, I get them mine, I go add them to my list. So when I send out stuff I'm doing in my business or just trying to connect or gain new clients, that's what I'm sending it to.
Like, do that automatically, like, I don't wanna say, but I know you said ask the questions, but.
Yeah,
Do that, like, automatically, like, send emails?
no, so you,
You just got-
MailChimp.com, MailChimp.com, that's what's gonna do it. So you will upload your like email list that you create, gather, and then you can start creating campaigns. This is free.
You said what it's called?
Mail, Chimp, CHIMP.com. And it's free, you can get a free subscription, I'm sure they have some one, you know, with higher capacity you could pay for. But yes, you would start building your email list, you can even build it in there. Add your contacts and you can start sending automated emails,
I
flyers.
do, like, marketing email through my janitorial company, but I always gotta like go find their business website, get their email, then put it in my email.
Yes.
Send it out there.
So you just start creating a list, an Excel list. I ain't gonna lie to you, guess what I did when I was first starting my business? I went to the voiceofblackcincinnati.com. I looked in their directory. I hand copied every business in the directory to an Excel file and use that to start my email list. Like, it's gonna be tedious manual, but how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Gotta do the work. Like, we gotta do the work. So yes, start there, build your email list. Then that way, as you add more businesses, you just add them onto your list. Everybody in one list, you keep adding as you keep reaching people. I have like over 2,000 contacts. And this is just over the 3 years that I've just been in business. Networking, getting business cards, getting them back, doing the work of going to find the people from directories that's already out here, that are people that I potentially want to work with. Create a marketing plan. This is a big one. How will we appeal to our target market? Are you gonna do just social media? We do, we keep it a little traditional too. We do mailers. Some people they like paper still. So we create mailers in Canva, which is free. Print them. Canva lets you print them, pay for them. They send them to your house, wherever. We send them out in the mail too. Some come back. Yeah, no, I mean for my business here. I don't know if they do mail. I don't think they do any paper mail here. They do just email generation. But you just gotta find what works. So you might have to try a few different marketing channels, avenues to find what works, but something will work. But yeah, get creative. If you're gonna use social media, create a posting schedule. How often are you gonna post? What are you gonna post? And what's the intent behind the post? Are you just posting for people to see? Or are you posting for people to really come to your website and sign up for a consultation, come buy a product? What is the goal? So marketing plan is definitely, and then again, use your resources, because this sounds like a lot, but like right now, at the Minority Business Assistance Center, we have a program where we're offering free marketing services to business owners. They'll create you a capability statement, which is like a resume for your business on the government side, website creation, branding, and free. So if you need some more information, Vivian can help you with that. But yes, so it might feel like, oh, I gotta hire somebody to do that. I gotta hire somebody to do that. Use your resources. These organizations, and all it is a question. Do you have anything available that can help me with this? Either they're gonna say yes or they're gonna say no. That's it. But ask the questions. Next to business plan preparation, make sure I'm staying on time. Okay. Why you need a business plan? Well, what is a business plan? Business plan is a written document that describes an idea for a product or service and the steps on how it's gonna make money. It includes your customers, again, target market, marketing plan, and estimates for revenue, expenses, and making a profit. A business plan is your roadmap. It's gonna guide you through, is this thing working or not? If it is, great. Is it working to the ability that I want it to work at, or what do we need to change? It is your roadmap to the success of your business. Again, talking about target market. When I first started my accounting firm, I said, we're gonna serve Cincinnati and surrounding regions like Kentucky, Indiana, etc. I got my first 2 clients. They were in Colorado and in California. None in Ohio. So I'm like, oh, we going global, baby. Like, oh, we changing the mission. We, no more Cincinnati, Ohio region. We gonna cater to them, but we going global. We can go all over the world at this point. Just that simple. Your target market, this, a business plan. So in my business plan, I went back and changed that. Because now I see we can do bigger things, you know what I mean? So target market is extremely important. Who wants it and where at over the world? Technology is at our fingertips. We don't have to live there to serve there. Go anywhere. Go global. Why do you need a business plan? I just said it, business plans are roadmaps. Benjamin Franklin once said, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail.
Yep.
It's a business plan for a reason. What's the plan? What are we doing? Business plans allow you to plan out the very many aspects of your business and can give you something to revert back to as changes are needed. I just talked about that. We had to change some things, tweak some things. We went back to that business plan. Okay, we said this, but now we need to make it bigger. We need to go bigger. Is that gonna change the finances? Is that gonna change this and that? Is that gonna change how many people I need to help me work? What is gonna change? And again, business plans are not set in stone. You have one idea, just like me. I had one idea to cater to one region, and then something else happened. So now they changed. You change them as you need it, but you need it to start. You need it to start because it's gonna funnel. We have a lot going on up here. We are so creative. We're intelligent people. We have a lot going on here. We don't put it down on here. And when you don't put it down on here, you don't get organized. You don't become organized. You don't feel organized. You feel all over the place, and usually we are. Get it on the paper. They have business plan templates that we can provide. So after this, we'll send out a business plan template to everybody that attended today, just so you can have a template. Last but not least, the big part, where all the money gonna be, accounting and finance. So if you don't know your numbers, guess what? You don't know that business like you think you do. You don't. Here are a few methods to track your numbers. So Excel spreadsheets are free. Free over it down. You might need a Microsoft subscription, but you can use Google Sheets. That's free, and they have like an Excel version. If you are listening to me right now, like, what is Excel?
That's my question.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, I wrote it down.
It's just, I really want to say, get on YouTube and get an Excel tutorial, but YouTube is not for everybody. So even if you go to the public library and you ask them, you need some YouTube help, some help with Excel, they will help you. So Excel is nothing but a spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet that you drop numbers in. I wish I would have put up an example today, but yes, it's a spreadsheet. Everybody know what a spreadsheet is?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, okay,
Like
no
the
worries.
thing without the box.
It has several boxes on it.
Oh, yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an Excel, that's a spreadsheet. That's an Excel spreadsheet. So you can use that to track for free. QuickBooks has monthly subscriptions. Usually they do like a free trial, so maybe you can get 3 months for free. Or if you have an accountant or bookkeeper, they can wholesale your subscription and get it for you a little cheaper, but they may not say that. Wave app they have some free, and it does the same essentially as QuickBooks. These are accounting softwares, but they also have paid. And FreshBooks, I know about it, not too familiar with it, but it's also an accounting software that has monthly subscriptions. So again, you got some free options in here and you got some paid ones. What I do recommend eventually, like free, get us going, get us started. But once your company is at the point you're profiting, you're making money, and you're feeling like you've outgrown whatever system you're using right now. So whether that's a spreadsheet, whether that's a QuickBooks subscription, maybe whether it's the free version of Wave, talk to somebody that's an accounting professional, move up to the next step. As your business show you you're outgrowing a certain area, or okay, I can no longer tame this thing, I can no longer put my hands on it, it's getting too much. Face that and figure out, how do I fix this issue? Because again, usually with the accounting and finance, maybe we start tracking in Excel, but then usually we get caught up in the business and what we love to do, and then we fall behind. I'm no longer doing it. Oh, I was tracking, but I got busy with the job, and now, okay, go find somebody to help you with it. If it's a family member, if it's a little niece, nephew, a teenager in high school that you can get them some experience with, numbers and accounting, and even if it's lower level, just simply keeping track of everything for you month to month. Find somebody to do it. They have virtual assistants out here these days. They will work virtually, maybe $10 or less an hour. Some I've seen $7, $8. I don't know where they live, but they out here. There are many, many resources that we can use. So these are some good ones. Importance of good accounting practices. So why? Why do I need to worry about the numbers? I'm in business, that's not my thing. I'm just here to do business and grow. Profitability. How you gonna know you're profitable? How do you know if it's really working? Should you scratch it? You need that. If there are not tools in place to track your income and expenses, how do you know if your business is profitable? As a business owner, a large part of your income comes from your business. A lot of us raise our hands and we're wearing all the hats. We're doing it all. To know how much money you have earned, you have to know what your business earned first. A lot of us get in business, we want to pay ourselves. We don't really know how much to pay ourselves or if the business can even afford to pay us. Track your numbers. That's going to tell you. And a lot of times in the beginning, business is not going to pay you what you want. Business is probably not going to pay you even what you need. It probably can pay you something, but it's not going to pay you all in the beginning. The goal is to get there. And so how do we know how we're going to get there? We got to start tracking the numbers. Because once you do the accounting and bookkeeping piece, the next thing is projections. You need projections to show you, to give you thresholds and goals on where we're going. Because that's a lot of things too with us as small business owners. We get these reports, we get an accountant or a bookkeeper, or we do it ourselves. Somebody give us these reports, but they just look like numbers. And we looking at it like, oh, that's cute. Don't know what it is, really like, okay, what am I really looking at? When you make projections and goals for yourself based on where you are, then you can assess each month. Okay, I'm this close to my goal. I'm this far from it, or I've surpassed it. We need a new goal. Okay, now I know this is doable. Now you're feeling good, you're feeling empowered, you're confident, because you know what you can attain. Most times we don't feel like if the business is even doing it profiting because we're watching the money come in, watching the money go out. We're not tracking nothing in between. Paying attention to nothing in between. Money coming in, money going out. Second, tax prep. Who wait till the end of the year? Y'all have raised your hand. Who wait till the end of the year and call up their people, bag of receipts, papers like all everywhere. Here, work this out for me. Bookkeeping throughout the year, good accounting practices throughout the year eliminates that. Nobody wants to get a knock from IRS. I don't. I'm sure y'all don't. We don't know when they're gonna audit you. You never know. And Schedule C filers are one of the most to get audited. Because they wanna, if a person, a W-2, not saying this, but it's a W-2, you got taxes taken out already, you work, they reporting, that's less likely to be kind of fake or not for real. As a Schedule C filer, everything I say is what I say. It's my income. These are my expenses. The biggest part is our expenses. Are they legitimate? And then we got business owners that think their bank statements are receipts. They're not. Bank statement is a bank statement. Receipts are what's to back it up. So just because I went to the bank and swiped my card at Shell, does that mean it was gas? I could have bought whatever I wanted or needed out the store. But if I get my receipt that says gas and it was a trip for me to get to work or gas in my company car, that's my documentation. Anytime you're gonna get out, anytime the IRS comes to audit, they want receipts. People, what we always say, we got receipts, proven with the receipt. They want receipts. Is this really is this expense really a legitimate business expense that you said it was? So we can't just say, I got my bank statements. Do you have those receipts and are they in order? And are they uploaded or kept somewhere orderly and in fashion? Because again, if you're not using this accounting software, keep them in an envelope. Get 12 envelopes, January, February, all the way through December. Each month, as I'm expending in the business, guess what? They're going in that January envelope or whatever month we're in. And then at the end of the month, order them by day. So if you do have to give that to an accountant and bookkeeper, I swear to God, we don't like that a lot more than the bag. And I gotta sit on my floor and dump that bag out and put them in order month by month. And yes, as an accountant, that's our job. But with technology and with what we are trying to process efficiency, we're trying to all make it more efficient. Because guess what? I have one client, but I got a bunch of others too. So if everybody coming with a bag of receipts, my processes can't be efficient. So whatever you can do as business owner to alleviate and make it more efficient for the people that are supporting you and your business, do that. So if that means I gotta get QuickBooks and I gotta use my phone to snap a picture and upload my receipts so they're already there and my accountant has less worry, I'm gonna do that. If that means I have to get 12 envelopes January through December and keep them orderly in order because I am a business owner and I am required to be professional as well, I'm gonna do that. Whatever that means, do it. 3, growth strategies. How do you know? Proper bookkeeping helps you confidently make crucial decisions in your business, such as hiring employees, investing, purchasing equipment, all that good stuff. And finally, peace of mind. Peace of mind. Like when we look at our bank account and just got paid and the money there and bills are all paid up, so that's peaceful, peace of mind, not worried. Good. That's what this does for you. You don't have to worry about who coming, or if they do come, I'm ready. I'm ready. They can come out of me today. I'm ready. I got all my stuff in order. I got my binder. I got my receipt. I got everything. Even if I'm not using a system, I am in fact orderly and in fashion. So they can come whenever. Whether it's to focus more on what you love or just generally, when your books are complete, you can rest easy knowing that your company's financial information is review ready. Banks or the IRS no longer have to give you anxiety. Disorganized books can weigh heavy on your mind as a business owner. With all of the other factors of running a business, your bookkeeping should not be one that keeps you up at night. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this working. And if this is not your thing, which this is not everybody's thing, get the help that you need. Last but not least, what are the 3 financial statements, the main 3? So when you're going to organizations, you're trying to get assistance, when you're working with someone, and you're trying to get access to capital, where they're gonna ask you, I guarantee you probably for all of these, or at least 2 of them, profit and loss and balance sheet. Normally, all 3. What are they? First is profit and loss statement. It's an income statement. So you hear names interchangeably. Don't get too caught up on it. You might hear income statement. You might hear profit or loss. Same thing. They provide a clear picture of your business financial position by showing whether or not your business is profitable. For small businesses, income statements can provide much more information than profitability, such as forecasting, identifying cash flow issues, or just simply remaining compliant as a business. This is one of your main things. This is gonna show you, am I profiting or am I losing? Normally, in the beginning, first year of business, what we do, we take a what? We take a loss. Why? Because we invest in, maybe we ain't made the money back yet. Maybe people don't know who we are yet. We ain't got out there yet. We just trying to research, develop the business. So sometimes in the beginning, you can take a loss. But ultimately, the goal is to grow from that and have profit, be positive. So this is just a snapshot of income and expenses. Where is my money coming in from? Do I have a cost of goods sold? So if I'm selling t-shirts, the t-shirt itself, whatever I might have to use else to make the shirts, those are all going into my one cost of a t-shirt, or what I would sell it for. Balance sheet. Balance sheet is one of the second statements. The balance sheet is meant to give you a clear view of what your business owes and owns. The insights you can gain from the balance sheet, along with other financial statements, allows you to make informed financial decisions as your business grows. So assets are the top. Those are what is ours. What do we own? What is mine as a business owner? So that's your cash. Accounts receivable. Who knows what accounts receivable is? Anybody?
Money that was owed to the company.
Exactly. So maybe I invoiced my client December 1st for $5,000. They didn't pay me by December 31st. They didn't pay me that. So that's accounts receivable. I'm expecting to receive it. I just haven't yet for whatever reason. Maybe they're paying late. Maybe it's not due yet. But that's accounts receivable. I done did the work. I invoiced them. I'm waiting on my money. That's yours. You own it. Inventory. You got anything in inventory? Those are assets. Those are things that we own. Liabilities, anything coming out of our pocket. And this is the same for at home and personal finance. Assets, we own them, they ours. Liabilities, they coming out of our pocket, they taking money out. Loans, accounts payable, people that we owe money to, maybe Duke Energy, utilities, rent, et cetera, taxes, all that good stuff. And then equity, what has been invested in the company. So whether it's my own investments as owner, or maybe I got some investors that have gave me money to, invest in my business and see my business succeed and grow. So that is what equity is. Who has put a piece in the business. So this is a balance sheet. And then finally, cash flow statement. A statement of cash flow can be broke down, a statement of cash flows can break down your inflows and outflows every month of your year to help you better understand your business's spending habits. This is different than your profit and loss. Profit and loss is gonna just show us income, expenses, are we profiting? Cash flow is your management of the cash. Because a lot of times at the end of the year, people will look at their net income that says the business profited 50,000, but they're like, I don't have that in the bank. Yeah, this is why it ain't in the bank, because this is where the cash went. And again, the statements work together. So cash flow brings in information from your profit and loss and your balance sheet. Cash flow shows you what is going on with the cash. Is it from operating? So it's 3 parts. Operating activity, so your cash from operating, which means this is your daily task that keep the business going. So selling to a customer, all that stuff, operating. Investing, from buying and selling company assets or people, those are the equipment, buildings, et cetera, investing activities, things that you're gonna buy to keep the business keep going. Financing, receiving funds, investors, loans, or funding. Financing activities are those, people are investing in you or whatever, they're giving you money, loans, you're signing up for access to capital, whatever, those will fall under financing. These 3 pieces makes up the cash flow, but this information is gathered from both the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet. Question, so that's a lot of information. I hope I made it as plain as possible. Do anyone have any questions right now? Yes.
Can you email us along with that other information that you said, those 3 main statements, the profit, loss sheet, and balance? Can you email us that too?
Yes, we will email this whole presentation out.
Okay.
So everybody that attended today, will get the presentation, yes.
What is auditing?
An audit is so you file your taxes, right? And an audit is simply that. They're gonna pick your tax return, they're gonna go through it and make sure everything that you reported is legit. That's an audit. And the IRS randomly audit, you can get audited, I think, up to 3 years after you file a tax return. And they can audit you you'll never know. You'll know by them picking your return, them telling you, hey, you've been audited. And then they'll ask you what to supply, if they need you to supply some things, you'll get it, but I don't know how often, what's their rhyme or reason, but that's what an audit is, yes. Picking your return and they're going through it, make sure you're legit, what you reported is legit.
And then my last question was like, what, cause I do kind of track now, but what is we supposed to mainly track monthly when you saying track it monthly? Cause that's what I try to do, my stuff, but what is the main things I'm supposed to be tracking monthly?
Everything, everything that you're doing, so you have a business bank account?
Yeah.
So everything that you're transacting in that bank account, so if people are paying you money coming in, you're tracking that, who did it come for? Because it's not just about expenses, it's about your income. You getting deposits in the bank account, how does the IRS know this is not money laundering? Because you have invoices from customers, right? So you are tracking that, so you're making sure you're tracking who's sending you money, who is it coming from, how much, one, and who's sending it. So you just have that, categorized, or, have it somewhere. I'm not saying you have to have all of this in one spreadsheet, but if you're sending out invoices, you need to be having those invoices in your folder somewhere as your documentation. Expense wise, if you are, whatever you're going to buy, cleaning products, machinery, equipment, whatever, those receipts, all of that stuff, whatever you are spending out and whatever is coming in out of that business account, you need to be tracking. Or even not just that, because again, we just said first year, sometimes you take a loss. Maybe you are spending money out of your own personal funds and for the business, track that. keep a record of that, receipts or whatever, because those count too.
I have a question. I don't know if you covered this or if this is part of it, but I work from home. So my mortgage and all my other bills, I kind of like take, everything is just coming out of the check, my business safe checking account. What is is there a set percentage that I can claim?
Yes,
I know it goes by the square foot of the office.
yeah.
But is there like a formula for the,
So your formula is gonna take whatever your space, so you're gonna take whatever your full home square footage is, whatever the space is, so you might have to really get a tape measure, or maybe you're gonna estimate whatever your legit space is, so say that's 25 square feet or two, whatever. You're gonna divide that into your full home square footage, that's your percentage. That percentage is what you apply, yeah, so you divide your designated space, home office space into the whole home square footage, that's your percentage, that's what you, and for mortgage, you can only write off mortgage interest, not mortgage principal.
okay, so once I find out what the percent is, am I, multiplying that by what I?
Your bills, so your light bill, times whatever the percentage is, your times in your light bill by that's the percent that your business will pay. So now how you pay it is up to you. So say you use the business account to pay the full bill. Well, you should show somewhere that you personally paid the business back for the personal portion, because they don't allow that. We're not gonna pay, the business can't pay all your house bills. It has to only pay a portion of it according to where that space you're working. So, or vice versa, say you paid the whole bill out of your personal account. You should show the business writing you a check for that portion that the business owed you for the home office. So either way, my preference, that's your house bill, pay it out of your personal account, and then show where the business has reimbursed you for that. But there's no exact percentage. Your documentation for that is simply you showing my house is this square footage, my office is this is how I got that percentage, and this is how I'm applying it to my bills. That's your own personal documentation in case you ever ask, where did this number come? Where did you even get this from? And that's where you show it. So getting your home square footage though should be backed up by your lease agreement to say how much square footage your house is.
When using a business credit card, can you claim that interest at the end of the year on your taxes as well?
Yes, interest paid is a write-off, yes.
On all credit cards or just?
If it's for the business,
Just, okay.
yes,
Okay.
but not personal. And then if you are using though, we have people that do that. If you're using a personal credit card that's not in the business name and you're buying, but you're using it for business, in that case, you're only writing off the individual charges that you charge on that card that pertain to the business.
Okay.
You're not still writing off the whole credit card bill. No,
Okay.
just the pieces that remain, anything related to the business. And if we could keep it separate as possible, let's do that, because the IRS calls that commingling. And when you commingle, you're not looked at as a true business. So keep it separate. Personal business, always separate. Any other questions? And real quick, before we get to the next question, I want everybody to get time to do this. If you don't have a question, if you don't mind scanning the QR code, there's a TV closer, and just take our survey to give us some feedback on how you think this workshop went, we would greatly appreciate it. Next question.
If I heard you correctly, you said that you'll be sending out a copy of the business plan template.
Yes. Business plan template and this presentation you all will get.
Oh, okay, that's my question.
Yes.
I also have one more question. Is there a way that I can personally have this kind of information? This gonna move too fast for me. I'm a new business owner and I work all by myself. And I realize I don't understand nothing. I'm okay with that, but even if this means I have to pay, is there a way that I can get this exact same information personally?
Yes, so I'll give you my card.
Okay.
You can register, sign up as an MBAC client,
Okay.
and then you'll get a link to my schedule.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to schedule something and come back here and we can meet in person, and we can, go through this, whatever. So yes, you can schedule an appointment, yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Yes.
So for the business plan, is it like a certain length that it needs to be starting out with?
So we've heard a variety, I believe 1 to 2, I'm not gonna tell you how, if your ideas is running 3, 4 pages, I mean, as long as it makes sense, okay. But normally they say to keep it to, I don't wanna say 1 to 2 pages, I don't even know how much is a template that we have, it might be more than that, maybe, many pages, but as long as you are hitting all the parts in the business plan, mission, vision, target market, pricing strategy, branding and all that, like, as long as you're hitting the parts in the business plan, I'm not gonna say like, oh, keep to, like, it's not a resume. You know, so you may go through your business plan, it might be 10 pages, but then you may meet with somebody else, maybe, you know, someone that is score or something, they might help you narrow it down or shorten it down. So I would just say, give it what you got at first, don't focus on how many pages, but what's the information that what are you, the research gathering, that, what you're putting in there? I would say more so focus on that than how many pages it's gonna be. If it come out to be 10 pages, then maybe there's some chance where you can sit with somebody, go over it and, you know, narrow it down. But I would get all my ideas out there, whatever that is, I would get it on the paper first and then worry about that later.
And for the startup cost, can it be like estimated?
It is gonna be-
You have to have like a vendor, like, you know, what if it changes?
Yes, it's all gonna be, a lot of this is estimates in the beginning when we're just getting started. We don't know what it's gonna cost most times. So it is gonna be estimates, but what's gonna help you is once you really get into that thing and you start saying, okay, were my estimates a little off? Were they spot on? Did I over budget? Did I under budget? That's what's gonna be important, but you're not gonna know that if you're not putting the numbers together. So I would say, yeah, for budget estimates is what it's gonna, that's just what they're gonna be. But do the research to try to make your estimates as realistic as possible. You know, see really what this costs, what that costs, what it might be. I mean, if you're buying a product, actually go through the shopping cart process so you can see at the very end with taxes included, this and that. Okay, it'll be around this, it's gonna be about this much. And go estimate up a little bit from whatever that number gives you, just to give you some room. I would rather be over my budget, than under budget, so.
Hi, I have a question. If you're producing your own products and, you know, you're listing everything that it takes to make that product, how do you include your time in there? Or do you?
That's a good one. So you mean if you're physically making the product? So that means how long does it take you to make that very thing?
Yeah.
And so I would say, how long it takes you to make it. So say it takes you 1 hour to do that. What is comfortable for you? And then that's gonna mean you even sitting down to say, on a personal finance tip, how much do I need this business to pay me? You gotta know that too. So that way you can you can make what your hourly rate needs to be. It's gonna align with what you need the business. And then the business can't do that for you now, but ultimately, what do I want this business to pay me?
Okay.
And, you know, what am I comfortable with making hourly? You know, we know we'll go to a job and they tell us $2 an hour, we're like, why? Because we know that ain't enough.
Right.
So the same thing with your business. What does it need to pay you? What is enough? Where am I willing? And then starting with that point, okay, is this reasonable right now? Can the business pay me this? Probably not. So maybe I'll incorporate a piece of this price into my product now and as we continue to grow, but I know my number.
Okay.
Solid on my number. So yes, a lot of this business finances goes with your personal. So if personal is not in order, guess what? 9 times out of 10, business finances are not in order also. So whatever you need to do to get your personal finance wheel together, start working on that as well, because that's gonna correlate a lot with your business finances. And in most cases, when you're trying to get capital and loans, somewhere they're asking for a personal financial statement. So that's your personal finances. So start working on those two if you need to make sure they're both lining them in order. Any other questions?
You said when they start asking you for capital, they was gonna ask for what for as personal?
They may ask for like a personal finance statement, which just means essentially this for a business owner. What's your assets as personal, what do you own and what do you owe out? Do you got any loans? Do you got credit cards? You got this, you have that? What's the balance?
See how you doing first.
Yes, because that matters.
Yeah, because like when I was dealing with First Financial, like they said something like, they won't give me a business loan until my personal credit is right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot of that, so. Any other final questions? Let's see if we got some questions in the chat.
Karis Hall. asks, where can I find capital funding resources?
You can come here. No, seriously, you can come, I'll be giving my information out, or James will make sure my information gets out. But if you're looking for access to capital, you can definitely schedule you can schedule a link on my, schedule an appointment and we can discuss what you need and what you're looking for. So this is my information and.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you accepting new claims?
Yeah, on both, yeah. Yeah,
So I have a question.
yes.
Okay, I was sick and I started the business and my life just went kaput, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, I feel like I've had failure to launch, so I'm going back now.
Mhm.
Like, so I have a lot of those things that you mentioned, done.
Mhm.
But, like the, QuickBook, I don't have that done. And then taxes, I didn't file for taxes.
Mhm.
So just kind of, look, breathe first. Starting over in certain aspects, but not others. So I guess my question is, how long can you go back for taxes, to report taxes?
Well, they can add it up to 3 years, but that's how far back to you go. So say you didn't file in, what's this, 2019? What's that, 3 years from now, 4 years from now? They'll probably ask for that. Yeah, or if you didn't file 2019, then yeah, you need to go back and file that. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023. That's how far, the IRS only going back 3 years of unfiled taxes. So same as with audit. So yeah, so if you're missing the last 3 years, I would definitely recommend getting caught up. Because when you get to even this stuff, access to capital, that's what they're gonna ask.
Right.
Have you filed? And if not, then you should, and why not, and so you need stuff to file, even if you're not filing because there was no business or you weren't in business, you still need to report that or say that, so yeah.
In the first couple of years of business, but they give you some leniency on filing taxes.
No, not a leniency on file, you should file regardless, they don't give you leniency, but in the first 3 years of business, they do understand that you may take a loss. So say the first 3 years of business, you report a loss, they're not gonna trip on that, but by year 4, you still reporting a loss, they're like, okay, is this for real? Like, is you a hobby or is this really working? So that's probably where you're getting at with the 3, but no, if you have a business EIN number that you registered, you should be filing taxes, whether you're reporting a profit or a loss. So another thing I hear is, oh, I didn't file because I didn't make a profit. Doesn't matter. If you're spending money in that business and even you're at a loss that year, that's just what's going on. Like you need to report it. And then the whole thing of writing off everything, like, no. Because guess what? When we go to these places to say, here go my financials, they say, oh, we ain't gonna be, are you gonna give money to the person that's not profitable? They don't make no money? They're probably not. So that's a lot of business owners get into a thing of where they wanna write off everything and then they're not looking profitable, but then they want access to capital or they want a loan and then they're like, we can't get you. We have to show profitability, even if that means we have to pay taxes. We just gotta work with a tax. You gotta get savvy. There's businesses that are profitable out here that don't pay taxes, or they have a really low tax liability. You just gotta get savvy, work with someone who can help you throughout the year. Not waiting until December 1st to think somebody gonna strategize and figure out how we gonna make this thing work, and the year done worked itself already. No. Get with somebody in the beginning of the year to help you plan how we do this thing throughout the year so that you have the most favorable tax situation and business situation at the end of the year. You had a question?
One last thing, like I'm in a logistics company, like I spoke with you yesterday. I'm still trying to, I filed my taxes every year and I've been paying since COVID because I was in the process of purchasing a home, so you already know how that goes. What you just talked about.
Profitability, yep.
But I'm trying to find an accountant that, instead of me telling her what I need that accountant, someone that's in the trucking business, someone like an accountant. Do you have any maybe resources I can look out for some accounting accountants that specialize in trucking logistics companies?
Okay.
Because the one I have now, she's just kind of like temporary right now until I'm able to actually look into someone who can actually take a hold and say, okay, this is what you need to do instead of me telling her what I need her to do.
I think too, it's all about your fit. Everybody's not gonna be your fit. Understand that too. Everybody, just like every bank you go to bank with, you might not like them. Might wanna go bank with somebody else because you got a better feel. I don't think it's, accounting is accounting, right? Accounting is a plethora of industries. I don't think you more so need an accountant that's specific to the logistics. I can understand the advantage of that. But you just need someone that's gonna be willing to learn about your business and to know what you're gonna need. That's what you need. It could be a logistics accountant could be preferable, but at the same time, you need that kind of accountant. So that's probably just not your fit. Not saying, whatever, that's just probably not the fit for your,
So it's hard to find one.
we could talk about that, definitely. But yeah, so everybody's not gonna be a fit. Find who works, find who's willing, who resonates with you, who's willing to educate you where you feel you lack, and who's someone you feel comfortable asking questions. Because we're all in the beginning, we all got questions we wanna ask, but nobody wanna feel like, dang, should I ask or not? Get somebody you can feel comfortable with, and that's gonna be willing to learn your business. I go to my clients, I go visit. We have a client that does construction in Columbus. I've been there. I just saw the site. And why do I do that? Because I care about their business. And how can I do the numbers if I don't know what y'all even do here? How can I advise you if I don't even know the process from A to B to C to D to E to F? Like, you have to know it all. So if you're working with people that are not interested in getting in your business, not getting in your business, but getting into the business that you're doing, get rid of them. They don't support the mission. Because we all are at stages where we're probably gonna need a little bit more. So if you don't have a person that you can feel you're comfortable like that with, find somebody else. For the sake of time, I think we went 20 minutes over. Y'all good. Y'all had a lot of questions. I think this is it. Everybody took the survey? Yes, no, maybe, please
Okay,
do.
so I got a question. This is my first time having an iPhone. Now, how do that?
Go to your camera and put it as close to this until the link pop up, and then you should be able to just click the link and go right to the survey. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for asking great questions. I hope to see y'all faces on my calendar soon. I'm here for a resource. Yes.
Do you know who I could
Taxes? I'm gonna bring y'all my other
Bills,